there in the crypto world? DeFi, IoT, Latin America, another week. And we got some news to talk about today. What's going on with the U.S. Congress and Joe Biden, the president, wanting to put a ban on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and stablecoins. You think that's possible? Let's talk about that right now and go over what kind of impact that's having on the market and what that could mean for us in the future. Don't go away. Before we begin, I need to make a disclaimer. Here at DeFi IoT Latin America, we are not professional financial advisors, or are we paid by any company to promote certain products. We here at DeFi IoT Latin America, we invest our own money. We take our own risks. We learn, we make mistakes, and we share what we learn, our successes and our mistakes with you. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, and write to us what more you'd like to learn. Let's go in now and see what else we can share with you. Well, we know last week that Joe Biden made an announcement that he's going to sign an executive order. Didn't say what it was. An executive order here soon. We're expecting that this month, February, maybe in the next few weeks, to attempt to ban Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and stablecoins from the U.S. market. You also have recently, and we're going to talk about this in a second, you also have, you can see here, a matter of national security, says Joe Biden. Surprise. Reports reveal Joe Biden surprised Bitcoin, Ethereum, and NFT plan after extreme price swings. That's interesting because there was already suspicion in those price swings that brought us down. Now, here's the funny thing is, though. Joe Biden is talking about, look at the cryptocurrency market. Look how much it's dropped. And yet completely not talking about the U.S. stock exchanges and what they're doing, how much they've dropped. Let's talk about something else. Before they were saying this, and I have to agree with Son of a Tech on this, before they were saying this, that it's because Bitcoin is bad for the environment, consumes a lot of natural resources, etc. Well, that's been shown that that can be done differently now. So you have a big movement to actually recyclable energies, solar panels, etc., or your Bitcoin and your mining farms, right? GPUs, both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now you came out then with the concern that it was going to not only cause problems with the environment, but there was going to be an issue now with the securities. So in other words, is it secure or insecure? It's volatile. You know, it can actually take your money from you. You can lose your money. You can steal people. There's a lot of money being transacted daily through cryptocurrencies that supports terrorism or supports money laundering. That's what Joe Biden's trying to say. Then the truth comes out with this senator right here, this congressman here, I should say, it's Congressman Brad Sherman, a Democrat from California, and not that I'm trying to split sides here, but he's from San Francisco, and he comes out also stating that, hey, nip this in the bud. Introduce a bill to outlaw all types of cryptocurrency during his remarks in the House Financial Service Committee meeting yesterday. It's unlawful. It's an awful lot of our international power comes from the fact that the U.S. dollar is the standard unit of international finance and transactions. Clearing through the New York Fed is critical for major oil and other transactions. So there is the truth. The rest of it was all just smoke and mirrors about, the environment issue. Here's the bottom line. About being safe for us and implementing laws for our safety. Here's the bottom line. This is about U.S. maintaining power in the world and keeping the dollar, forcing people to use the dollar, even though the paper's not worth, paper is in other countries already collapsed, like Venezuela, for example. Nothing against Venezuelans, but it's just politics there. Their paper flows around here like toilet paper. Now, the dollar is basically the same worth. It's just that we take it because we had no other choice. So you have some things popping up here now. Now, does this look like doomsday for cryptocurrency? That's what I want to talk about right now. What's that mean for us? Jump over here real quick. Russia comes out last week putting a ban, well, they're going to introduce laws, blanket ban on all cryptocurrencies. Watch this. Not long after they announce a blanket ban on cryptocurrencies, they came back. Putin says, you know what? If we do a blanket ban, we're only going to create a black market. Let's stop and think for a minute. Cryptocurrencies all start out as the outcast, start out on a black market, if you will. And only recently is going to beginning to be accepted in the normal financial market and institutions, which if we look, for example, on the Kraken report, where I want to go here. On the Kraken report, this is what I have the Kraken report here, January of this year, talking about basically the hodlers and what's the percentage of new coins and old coins that are basically being held by Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you look at their graphs and read the report, which we won't go into today, I'm going to try to make these videos shorter, you will see that the hodling, though it's come down a little bit, there's still a very high percentage of hodling. Now, is this like, are we going to head into a bear market and will this bring us down because all this new regulation coming out? Remember what happened back in 2018, right? 2018, 2019, when you had this bear market and it stayed for a while, basically a few years. But you didn't have, you had threats of regulation. Now you have regulation everywhere. And you're yet seeing markets recovering, Bitcoin's actually buoying back up. So what's that mean for us? That means that Bitcoin holders and those that are getting involved in Bitcoin are becoming more institutionalized, more savvy, more intelligent, and therefore this is a different market than it was back in 2018. So will Joe Biden come out and place a blanket law in the United States saying we're not going to outlaw it like Russia did? Or is he going to do the same thing Russia decided to do? If Putin, under this really strict type of government, will come back and say, you know what, we're just going to create a black market, because you know what, the market's going to exist, whether Russia, China, or the US try to get rid of it or not. They didn't accept it in the first place. So just getting the fact that they're standing up against it now is only saying, hey, this is serious. There's a lot of people out there and big players that are involved in cryptocurrency now. We've never had that before in the history of cryptocurrencies. So therefore is our underlying light at the end of the tunnel. Are we going to go through ups and downs? Sure we are. Are we going to go through regulations and they're going to try taxes? Yeah, I think that's inevitable. But are they going to be able to do away with cryptocurrency completely? No, I don't think so. And I'm banking all of our investment on that. We are not involved in stock exchange at all right now. You may say that's not smart, but I have more confidence that cryptocurrency is going to have a life a year from now, 3 years from now, and 5 years from now than I do that the dollar will, at least the value of the dollar. So let's look at something that helps support that. You can read this report, and I suggest you do. We'll put it down below, the Kraken report. The other is you have this. Good old Bukele in El Salvador. This is what he tweets out. There are more than 50 million millionaires in the world. Now listen to this. Imagine when each one of them decides they should own at least one Bitcoin. Now, you know what, though? There's some real truth to this because it's an ego thing. And especially if Bitcoin still maintains, hey, are you in Bitcoin? Is that the cliche thing to have? There's going to be this war between them. This could be like a figure of art, like an NFT, if you would, but a much more valuable one, well, in most cases. Imagine if each one of them decides they want a Bitcoin. Here's the problem. But there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Not enough for even half of them. A gigantic price increase is just a matter of time. And Bukele has put his money where his mouth is. They've recently purchased over 400 Bitcoin in El Salvador. I'm not mistaken. Like I said, less than that before, but it's over 400 Bitcoin. Just recently, they bought on a dip again. A fine example of what we should follow. In response to what Joe Biden is coming out and saying, Arizona considers making Bitcoin legal tender. Well, Texas already did it. Now they want to make it, they made mining actual legal, and now they want to come out and actually develop that even further. Texas wants to do the same thing. Florida is considering this with DeSantis. Now Arizona is going to introduce this. Now they're saying that you can't do that because the Constitution will not allow any other type of currency. Well, actually, if you look at the Constitution The US dollar is not even a legal tender under the Constitution. It needs to be gold or silver coin. So in 1971 or 73, whatever date you want to put in there, when they went off of the gold standard, being it was a note backing the gold, they actually violated the US Constitution. So therefore, there is a window open now to establish a different type of currency. Now, you've got other states in there too that are actually have legalized or allow cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin to exist, to be interchanged as a type of money. Here's the other thing. Russia came out and recently confessed, say, April, we're planning in developing our own digital currency. So they're acting like they're introducing their own cryptocurrency. Remember, digital and crypto are very different. Two different animals. One's centralized, one's decentralized. Crypto is decentralized for the most part. Now, the U.S. has also been considering in talks recently about a digital dollar. Is that digital dollar constitutional? No. It's going to be very difficult to hear an argument that will convince me otherwise, because it's very clear, gold or silver coin. So if you're going to try to take a digital dollar and make it look like the same as crypto, and you can say you can't have crypto because it gives Constitution, the U.S. is going to have a difficult time to introducing a digital dollar. Therefore, there's going to be a very difficult time outlawing crypto altogether in the United States of America, in other parts of the world. Actually, the Massari report was projecting that you would see China possibly open back up to crypto, especially I think with this economic downturns coming right now, by the end of this year. That's what they're stating. I'm not saying that's true, but that's what they're stating. So in summary, here it is. We have politicians going to push it as far as they can to scare people in the U.S. and say, oh no, I'm going to lose my wealth streams here, my income streams. And I'm going to lose a lot of this because they're going to make it all illegal. So what do? Then they're going to come back and say, no, wait a minute. We just want to be able to tax 40 or 50% of it between the federal and state tax, and then we'll let you have it. And what are most people going to do? They go, oh, okay, that's fine. I'll give it half to you. It's a game they play. It's a game. It's out of the Machiavelli handbook. Don't run scared, please. We're not going to do it. Now, we're not based in the U.S., so it gives us a little bit of advantage, but we also have that concern where we're based. So we're looking for other options, other areas. Now, just in brief, you just have El Salvador, but you all have an island out next to Australia that is now, and I forget the name of this island, I'll have to look it up and do an actual YouTube video on this. But there's an island out that now is selling off to just people who want to establish on that island a type of cryptocurrency business. And you can come reside there. You reside there, stay there. They're small little units. They're going to build a small island. But the owner's island, in collaboration with the country, and I will get more into this detail, but they're gonna create a safe haven for businesses to go to in legalized cryptocurrencies. Now it's in the cloud. We can pull this down anywhere. Let's look and say, I don't doubt the see it in El Salvador. You'll be able to go to El Salvador, put a legitimate business in El Salvador, open a trust, legitimate business. It's going to cost a bit of money, but I think they'll make it accessible, because the more people that have there, El Salvador is going to grow and boom, and the pottery is going to boom with it if they follow this guideline. And I think they will. Bukele's very intelligent. You go and you sub your trust, your bank accounts, you have legitimate business there for your income, because what banks are going to do is come back and say, well, if you're affiliated at all with cryptocurrencies, we're not taking your money, whether digital or paper. So you have legitimate business coming out of one of these safe haven countries from a bank, then the bank to the bank, it's different. And you're going to see that gate open. I am a firm believer that the windows are going to stay open. We desire a free market economy. Just look at the people standing up in the world right now wanting their freedom. Don't be scared. Stay with us. We're going to walk through this. I want to do a video on that island too, I think, maybe tomorrow, and show you this island coming up. So it gives you hope on, there's more countries out there considering right now cryptocurrencies. And the countries also are trying to go digital. Confuse the two. So they're going to have a hard time making one illegal and the other legal when they're trying to make them look like they're one and the same. Don't go away. There's hope for us. Strong hope. It's very different now than it was in 2018. We'll see you tomorrow.